hearing held earlier the same day to consider the request of Phyllis Hatley to move a 3-unit apartment building onto a new site with less than the required front yard. It is proposed to move the apartment complex from 107 Mill Street South to 113 Maple Street South, placing the structure on a new foundation basement in a site zoned for multifamily. The corner lot requires 25-foot setback for both the south and east sides of the property. The east side has 10 feet to the property line and requires a 15-foot variance. There is, however, a 15-foot of boulevard on this side. See attached notice of the public hearing. Board of Zoning Appeals minutes will be provided at the meeting. Who wishes to start us off with this?
I don't have the minutes for you because the meeting went for a really long time, so I didn't get them typed up. But there were a lot of concerns expressed by the neighborhood. The end result was that the board voted to grant the variance as requested. And then they had a second motion to, as a condition, because so many people were concerned with it, they wanted to have the access for the parking behind the buildings to go out to Park Street.
Was he outside?
I'm not sure he was here.
Just wanted to hear something.
I don't see him.
All right. Thank you, Chris. So the short story is the neighborhood doesn't have a problem with it being relocated there. It's just a matter of where the access is going to be. Correct. Where the off-street, where the parking is going to be, where they're going to pull in. But it's, the alley is going to become a park. Or both. Or both. That should be the majority of the discussion.
This whole product doesn't, property doesn't go with it.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Yeah.
So then there's enough room for parking back there?
Yeah, if you look at the next page. This shows the structure going in this way, facing Maple Street, and then back here they intend, not right away, but at some point to put 3 small garages for each of the 3 apartments behind there. Over here's the alley into Park Street, so you could, the neighborhood is preferring traffic go out to the Park Street side, in and out on the Park Street side to lessen the traffic flow in the alley. The landowners are saying, you know, they thought it would be safer to come in through the alleyway and not out onto Park Street so much, but they were not against the idea of considering Park Street as an exit access.
Yeah, it was just a new suggestion that was presented to them today. And I don't know if they've had any time to consider it, but maybe that's the place to start, is to talk to the petitioners. They're asking for a variance, so maybe they've had a thought about this access issue.
Property owner?
Yeah, I guess
Go
we
ahead
just.
and state your name for the record, sir.
Pardon?
Can you state your name for the record, sir?
Scott Hatley.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Yeah, we just, I just kind of, drew it up, and it looked to me like it would fit the best, the way it was, I proposed it. And I do think that the alley would be the best entrance to the parking, being the fact that the Park Street is a very busy street, and I thought it'd be safer for the people to exit through the alley, then go down through the Maple Street to the intersection and proceed onto the Park Street. And like if we did go straight directly out onto Park Street, we'd have to cross a sidewalk, which I thought is there's no sidewalk in the alley, there'd be no foot traffic there. And if we did go out on Park Street, there's a tree right there which would or would not be in the way. If it wasn't in the way of the road, it'd have to come down because it'd block visibility, on the Maple or Park Street. So I don't really, and I guess the concerns of the neighborhood is that they'd be too much. We'd have more traffic in the alley, which I think everybody on that whole street has their garages coming off the alley, which I don't see where should be any different for us.
Also, we stopped off to look
Can you
at
state your
that.
name for the record, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, Cindy Cresswell, Scott's.
Thank you so much.
We went out with a couple of the neighbors and we looked at that, and Dale was there also. And there's 50 feet between, actually there's over 50 feet, between a garage to the west and the property line to the east, on which we're proposing to put the driveway through to the alley. That, in my opinion, is plenty of room to be able to maneuver a 12-foot wide driveway. Plenty of room on both sides of it. Like Scott had said, the tree and the sidewalk are concerns to me, especially when that's a busy road, and if I was correct, isn't that one of the roads that's going to be left open for the detour?
Right.
You start moving equipment through and having to turn in and out of that street.
The park is busier than the alley, at least.
Yes,
At least.
yes. And so I'm saying let's try and keep it with the alley and keep people safe. Another thing too, I'm not hearing any real facts on why they want us to go to park over the alley, other than they don't like the idea. When we, earlier, a few years ago, the church that is buying this property was adding a new addition on, and we didn't care for the fact that it was going to be right in front of the apartment buildings. And when we came to the hearing, we were told that you can't just do things because you don't like it. You have to have real reasons. And now it's our turn to say, give me some real reasons.
I don't know if I have an opportunity to speak or not.
I do want to give people the opportunity to speak. I just don't want to turn it into a free-for-all. I don't want people yelling out, and just, if you raise your hand like you did Chris, that's fine. Just state your name for the record, and you can go ahead and talk, Chris. Thank you.
Chris Malone,
Thank you.
and I was the most vocal against the driveway going towards the alley, because the end of the driveway would be right across from where we live. My biggest concern is the sketch that we have in front of us is what we are using to make our decision. The driveway as sketched there is going to have to change because of an existing garage structure on the adjacent lot. There's a garage right, I have my own drawings that I tried to do. I don't think it's appropriate to present them, or if it is, I certainly can. The drawing that we have in front of you, that driveway is too close to that garage. And I think that Atlees have agreed to that, or I don't want to say agreed to that, but they have talked about moving that more in the center of that 50-foot that was just mentioned.